State Wars Hockey Podcast number 7. Was it 54, Greg? What number are we up to? It's 54, I think, already, right? 54. Can't believe it. I feel like just yesterday we had State Wars Hockey Podcast number 1, start of the pandemic. And it's scary to say we're still not out of this damn pandemic. So,
yeah, right.
We would have thought a week or two of doing these podcasts get us through the time when everyone was home. But at least people back to work a lot more now, whether they're working from home or not. So I don't know if we have as many people live watching this as we did back when everyone had a lot of time off. But actually, I hope not as many people are watching this now. I hope people are actually being productive and doing something at their jobs every day.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, with that being said, all these are recorded. So we put it on YouTube and then later on to our Facebook page. So if you do miss, well, obviously if the people who are watching now are on, but if people can't watch during the day when we're on, they can watch later on the Facebook channel. So and then we'll post it on our Instagram as well. So you go back and watch, see what us two fine gentlemen have to say.
Absolutely. You don't want to miss this. Some important stuff going on every day here at State Wars headquarters. So what's new in the world of GT right now, Greg?
Nothing much, Tim. We have Paisley's, got a little birthday party for her Saturday. So we're just gearing up for that. So, every day is stressful, just, getting this, getting that. And then every day something from Amazon's coming and cutting this out and cutting that out and just like nonstop. And just been running around, got a haircut yesterday. Wasn't too happy with it. Not that I have much hair left. The haircut itself was okay, but the beard, I just don't like. I went to a new guy because my normal guy is just really busy and he doesn't work past like 4:00 these days. So I'm like, what's the working guy supposed to do for a haircut? How am I supposed to get a haircut from? Right. So I had to go to this new place. Didn't really like how he did the beard. Went a little too thin on the sides. Not GT-ish, So got to deal with it for, I guess, a couple of weeks now. So let it grow in a little bit. But yeah, I just definitely didn't like the way they did it.
Yeah, you look more like one of the New York Empire guys with that beard, I think. Right?
I know. I like the casual looking beard, but it is what it is, Tim. It's gonna grow.
Yeah, it'll grow back. You say a little birthday party. Isn't this more like a small wedding you're having this weekend? All that stuff you got going on. So
yeah, right. No, it's crazy. 1 year, huh? Paisley's gonna be 1 year old, and
yeah, it goes fast. Trust me.
Like you say, it goes by so fast. I mean, you have 3 daughters, and they're growing up so fast before our eyes. And Sydney's playing varsity soccer now, so it's just crazy to think about. And I know you've been going to a bunch of games lately between all your kids, running around like a madman. All 3 of your girls are playing soccer, travel soccer. You got tournaments, games, practices all week. It's nonstop. And then plus yourself, you're still playing some hockey during the week. So you're coaching ice hockey. So I mean, you're all over the map.
Yeah, got a busy schedule every week. It's funny as we're talking here. Former sniper Rob Shear calling on the phone there. He doesn't know about the podcast, I'm sure. No, not to call at 11 a.m. Eastern time on a Thursday right now. Been playing phone tag with him. Hopefully we're gonna have him up out at the National Cup with the Snipers, December 10th to 12th. Out in Nashville, Tennessee. So excited for that tournament. Those are looking forward to still getting into that tournament. We're still taking registration. There's probably about 3/4 full right now. So we are taking some more teams. We'll have a 35 and over, a 45, maybe a 55 and over. We have 2 teams interested in 55 and over. So as long as we get at least one more team in 55, we'll have a small little 55 and over division. So any of the old timers out there wanting to play and have some fun, 55 and over, we'll have a women's division and a senior AA and a senior A division for that one. So
we're still, and if teams still want to enter the fall invitational, they have through the weekend to enter as well. So just let us know. We'll still accept some teams for that too.
Yeah, we're just finalizing that one. That one will have senior A, senior AA, 35s and 45s. So yeah, if you're looking to play in Pennsylvania, October 23rd, 24th, let us know as we're finalizing that. We got a few spots left open in that tournament as well. Yeah. Some not so great news, I guess, Greg. One of
Yeah.
our State Wars faithful, Sean Bolduc from Colorado, I guess, struggling a little bit with some health issues right now, in pretty serious shape in the hospital right now with infection in his brain and stuff. I don't know if it's a form of meningitis or something going on with him. So our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family and friends out in Colorado. I know he's in Connecticut. He was playing hockey out there. So he's been a long-time State Wars player, just a great kid.
On in Colorado when we were playing pie hockey for the Sting, and he always used to come by the bench and help out with the water and pucks and all that good stuff as a little, our water boy. But such a great kid and always a smile on his face, man. And even this year at State Wars, he had a really late game one night, and he comes on the rink, his goalie stuff, and hey, Greg, what's up? Big smile on his face. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, Sean, man, he's always happy, always willing to talk, just such a nice kid. And, we say it about a lot of people, but man, truly, he always puts a smile on my face. And I just hope he can fight this and get back on the rink this summer.
Absolutely. And, some birthday wishes here. Our buddy Steve Conti from Long Island. He's had some health issues himself recently or whatever, getting through. So we wish him a happy birthday and hopefully many, many more. Mike Scardino, another Long Island roller daddy. So it's his birthday today. Steven Urso, his birthday as well. And, just recently I saw Louise Conan, our friend from overseas. He's brought some teams out to Winter Wars West. His birthday, Mike Lalonde from the Michigan 35, 40, now 55 and over. Mike Lalonde, good buddy of Matt Koleski, very good player from Michigan. His birthday I saw was yesterday. Chris Canal from California, an old buddy of ours, Canal. So his birthday, and just want to wish everybody a happy birthday. And if we missed anybody, sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm terrible with the Facebook stuff on with birthdays and stuff. It's hard to keep up after a while, but it's a good reminder every once in a while. Oh, it's his birthday today. It's her birthday today. Yeah, happy birthday to
Facebook.
everyone.
I wouldn't even know my wife's birthday. I don't think so.
And your wife doesn't have Facebook.
Yeah, that's true. Thank God for that. Yeah, speaking of that, if you're on Facebook, I think I said this at the beginning of the pandemic, it still drives me nuts. If you're on Facebook posting 5, 6, 7 times a day, you really need a life. You got to get a hobby, and we got some work for you. We could get you scorekeeping at a tournament or do something for us. If you got that much free time that you can post 5 or 6 times a day, your thoughts on the vaccine and the virus and the politics and the NHL and the NFL, and oh my God. And it's usually the same old, and you get the same 2 people that react to it, and everyone else probably looks at it saying, who gives a shit, So please go out there and do something active in your life. Get on the Peloton or something. So many people on Instagram and Facebook. It's mind blowing to me. The same people over and over again. I have friends. I made the same joke before that barely got out of high school, and you go online and you think they went to Harvard for all their posts and stuff. What experts they are and everything.
Oh yeah, I hit the unfollow button quite often. Just same people. I think they just like to get a kick out of people. Start some controversy on Facebook and social media, and I don't have time for that. I just scroll through, and it's ridiculous after a while. So unfollow, see ya. And I got quite a few people on that list, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've been unfollowing a lot of people lately too. And honestly, even if I agree with some of the stuff you say, I still will unfollow you. It's just ridiculous after a while how people they go on and on and on. Everything's a conspiracy, everything's an issue, no one's ever happy. So much negativity in the world, and I just don't need it.
It's not worth it.
Makes life a lot happier when you cut out negative people in your life. Just want to be around positive people who want to do good, be good, and just be positive. Life's short, man. You got to enjoy it.
Yeah, and no need to be negative. I just, like I said, I don't have time for it. And I'd rather smile and go on with my day.
Yeah. And we had some donkey not too long ago on Instagram. We had posted we were going to be in Taylor, Michigan this summer, State Wars. Real excited to be back there. We were there in 2017. Had at that time our largest event ever. I think we could have close to 400 teams this year in Michigan, especially with all the international teams reaching out to us, planning on coming next summer. Yep. And some guy went on, and of course, you check out who he is. He's got one post, no followers. And he makes a comment that, he doesn't like that location. So we say, okay, you don't like that location. Then we delete it. And a day or two later, he posts again, I don't like that location. So finally, I just chimed in and said, okay, we get it. You don't like the location. You don't have to come. It's like, all right. I don't understand the concept of posting something like that. To me, I would never do that. It's like, if I don't like something, if you don't like what we're saying on this podcast, don't watch it. If you don't like what they say on that show on TV, don't watch it. If you don't like State Wars or Narch or Tours or the Florida Cup or Echo, and you don't like the location, don't play. Like, no one cares, Yeah. I think everyone thinks that their opinion really matters, but honestly, it really doesn't half the time.
Yeah, exactly. No one really knows what goes into all of it, at the end of the day, with finding facilities, finding host cities, stuff like that, because as we know, it's getting harder and harder to find rinks and facilities that will take us in for the, almost 3 weeks we're there, let us melt the ice down, and make ourselves at home. There's so much going on these days with ice hockey, so these rinks are pretty swamped. So it really is getting harder and harder to find facilities that will host these national events. So, and we're lucky enough to have some great partners, and Taylor, Michigan's one of them, and we're always pumped to go back there. So I'm excited. I don't know about you, Tim.
No, I'm real excited. I mean, and I mentioned it. We've already heard from our friends over from, United Kingdom,
yep,
France, Spain, Namibia, obviously Colombia, Argentina. A lot of great teams that some of them haven't been to State Wars in a couple of years now, and they're real excited to be coming this summer and getting back to Michigan. And like I said, we were there in 2017. It's been a while now, and I love that facility. I was, we were talking to our Sierra, the new head person over at Mission Bauer that I'm dealing with the roller hockey side yesterday, and explaining to her the facility. She's never been there before. They're excited. Mission to, wearing a shirt today, Mission, make a big splash this summer back at State Wars. And she was just asking about the facility. She's never been there before, and just explaining to her how the lobby is. You get a lot of traffic, and it's a really cool spot for a tournament. It's close to the airport. Granted, it's not the greatest area in the world to do stuff, I would say. That would be the one negative I would say to that rink. There's not a lot going on over there. It's not like you're in Vegas or something. But if you're there for the hockey and somewhere affordable, and you want to have great competition and playing the biggest and best tournament of the year, that's where you're going to be for a few days. It is what it is. Unfortunately, the biggest thing for us is getting somewhere, like you said, that is a good rink, near an airport, affordable, and someplace that teams can get to. And like I said, we had over 300 teams the last time we were in Michigan, and I expect it to be even bigger in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, most families know it's a hockey trip, and 9 out of 10, they just want to be at the rink watching games and playing some good hockey. So, yeah, of course, everyone wants a good location to do some sightseeing and enjoy the local, local establishments and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's for the hockey. And I think a lot of the customers and hockey people, hockey families are going for the hockey.
I didn't get to go, but when my parents came out last time we were there, my dad really loved that Henry Ford Museum they have there.
Yep.
I heard it's pretty awesome. So, we'll send out as we get close different things in the area to do and whatnot. But you know how it is. No matter where you go, you'll be able to find stuff to do. That's pretty cool. Maybe something you've never done before. I know in St. Louis, people in Fort Wayne, Indiana, perfect example. My wife was like, oh my God, Fort Wayne, Indiana, what the hell is there? And then she loves going now.
Yeah.
But it's funny we bring that up. I saw the other day they posted, Greg, for the World Games, they announced the divisions, the brackets, the seeding for that tournament. We talked about the World Games with Team USA the other day, and they just announced it. And just exactly what I'm talking about now, it's in Alabama, of all places this year, Birmingham. And I saw a couple of people from US chime in like, oh, what the hell is in Alabama? Why are we having Alabama? And again, it's people that aren't on the team, won't be on the team, would never be on the team and won't be there watching it. So why do you care to comment? I just don't understand it, you know?
Can we touch on that for a sec with that one guy posting?
Yeah.
How funny was that?
All about
So
you.
Yeah. So there's a guy, never talked to him in my life, never heard about him. He chimed in on the World Skate, I think it was the World Skate Facebook page, and clicked on his name just to see who he was. I was creeping a little bit. And all of a sudden on the left-hand side, it says school, Lindenwood University, high school, Bayport Blue Point High School, hometown, Bayport, New York. That's me. That's my credentials right there.
Yeah.
My credentials. That's my info. So I thought it was a little creepy. You know, he was friends with some guys from Europe and stuff, but never heard of the guy. Bayport's a pretty small town. I would think if he was a hockey guy or a skate guy, I'd know him. He definitely didn't go to Lindenwood. So it's kind of creepy that he had my same stuff as me. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think it's really weird. Like I said, if he starts posting pictures of your kid and your family and stuff, then I guess we got to find out who he is.
So weird.
Yeah, really, really weird. But looking here at the World Skate, so the seeding for the World Games are, and this is based on my understanding, Greg, is there's some crazy point system that goes on now between World Roller Games, World Championships. Last time there was a World Games and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they come up with it. But basically, you get points for every tournament you go to and how you do. And obviously, it hurt the United States. We didn't play at the World Championship that was just held last minute in Italy this year. So we didn't get the points for it, which would have changed things. But it is what it is. Number 1 seed going in, Czech Republic. Number 2, France. Number 3, Canada. Number 4, Italy. Number 5, Switzerland. Number 6, USA. Number 7, Spain. Number 8, Colombia. So then they divide into 2 groups. The Group A, and how they do it is the 1 seed will be here, and then 2 and 3 in the second pool, and then 3 and 4 and 1, like that. So Group A is Czech Republic, Italy, Switzerland, and Colombia. And Group B is France, Canada, USA, and Spain. So those are the 2 groups. You'll play each team in your pool, and then I assume the top 2 from each advance, and then they have a semifinal and a gold medal game after that.
Yeah.
So pretty cool seeing that like that. And I don't really care what we're seeded or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. But just makes you get a little more hungry for it, seeing you're listed as a 6th seed, you know?
Yeah. No, it's going to be exciting. Tough pool. I mean, Spain, I think they came in 3rd this year.
Mm-hmm.
Their country's so big into inline hockey and getting so good over the years. So they're a very good team. Canada, of course, very strong team. Us, and then was it Colombia?
No, France.
France. Oh, France, and that's another pretty stacked team too. So our division's very, very strong, and the other one I think is really good, but I think ours is definitely stronger all around.
Yeah, I like that. I like getting the games going, and because if you can't get out of your pool, obviously you're not winning the tournament, right? So I like having those tough matchups for us to get us going, and then by the time we get to the playoffs, hopefully we'll be rocking and rolling. I remember the first year I coached, 2017 in Slovakia with Joe Cook, IIHF. We were the number 5 seed going in,
Yeah.
and same kind of thing. It was nice to go, and I don't think if USA is ever really under the radar, but we went in and. There at that tournament, they had the flags hanging up, Greg, if you remember, in the back.
Yeah, I know.
Based on how you finished the year before. So it was pretty cool. But just seeing that USA flag in the 5 spot just kind of got you a little more pumped up, seeing it every game up there. I don't know. Gets me excited seeing us at that number 6 seed.
Yeah, I'm pumped up. Hopefully soon we'll start getting the team together and get going.
Yeah, the plan is to bring a bomb squad to that one. I know a lot of people talking right now about maybe Olympics 2028 in LA for roller hockey. And I know USARS and whatnot, they're working on getting some stuff together for a petition and things like that for that to try to get roller hockey in. Hopefully it's got a chance, but it's real important for us to have a good showing at this tournament. And I know our goal is to bring hopefully the best team that's ever been in the red, white, and blue going to a world championship for the United States. And from a couple players that I've spoken to already that have never played in this tournament, I think we're off to a good start.
Yeah, definitely have to bring a bomb squad there and set the tone early and let everyone know what's up. But,
Oh yeah,
no, it definitely gets you excited seeing the posts already, and the excitement's there, I would say. And guys I'm sure, will be honored to play if they're invited. So I'm sure the Canadians will have a pretty stacked team in America as well. So I'm sure they'll be very, very good too. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be awesome. Looking forward to it. Never been to Alabama.
Absolutely. A couple times you keep breaking up, Greg. So check your Wi-Fi where you are right now.
Yeah, same with you. But
yeah,
I think I'm good now.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about State Wars here. We finished last week. We finished up the 2005s. We were up to the 2004 division. So there we had a AAA, AA division, 10 teams. Then we moved the snipers team from New York. It started out in the single A up to that division as well. So we had an 11-team division for AAA, AA. In that one, we had Farm Tough Cows, Wisconsin, Envious Excitement, Michigan, Car Shield Blast, Missouri, Team Pennsylvania, Connex Warriors from Cali, Detroit Junior Dragons, Michigan, a team from Columbia, the Illinois Express, La Beta Mayhem from Cali, the Raleigh Speed City from North Carolina, and then the Snipers from New York. So pretty well-rounded division, Greg. We had teams from all over the country, which I love to see. But this one truly was a two-horse race between the Farm Tough Cows and Envious Excitement, which not a big shock to me. I mean, I know the Blast and the PA team and the Warrior, that's some good teams in there, but those two teams are just at a different level, I think. Yeah. They both went 4-0. They kind of beat up on some teams, and they met up, of course, in the championship. And I don't know if I was surprised or not, but Excitement, I'm not gonna say they dominated Farm Tough, because I wouldn't say that, but they gave it to them pretty good. And they were clearly the better team.
Yeah, I definitely think they were deeper, and they scored on their chances. I watched that game, and Farm Tough had some chances early and throughout the game to score some goals, and they just didn't and couldn't capitalize on their chances. But Envious was just flying, and they played a smarter game, and they scored. They buried the puck and made it harder for Farm Tough to come back from that. So, but like you said, it was definitely a two-horse race there between Envious and Farm Tough, and Envious took it home. So
I think they won 9-3, and I think Owen Baker had 4 goals in that game. They have some studs on that, as do both teams. But yeah, that Envious Excitement team, pretty tough. Teams are going to have to really come to play in the 04 division to take that team, because I'm sure back home in Michigan this year, they could be just as strong, if not stronger, you would think. It's usually how it goes in your home state. So teams are going to have to really bring it to take that team down.
Yeah, they're pretty stacked.
Especially last year, the birth year. This year, 04s will be the oldest, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yes. So it's going to be tough. So that was the AAA division there. So they took home the gold medal. And then in the bronze medal game, the Connex Warriors from California, which is basically the 05 team that we had coached against, pretty impressive team. Mm-hmm. They only had a couple players different. They took home the bronze medal, the 5-4, great bronze medal game at the Car Shield Blast. So congrats to those guys. And then the AA division for the playoffs, the Mission La Beta Snipers played the La Beta Mayhem from California in the gold medal game. Snipers winning 6-3. And the bronze medal game, the Detroit Junior Dragons from Michigan taking home the bronze, defeating the Raleigh Speed City, North Carolina, 3-2. Another great bronze medal game.
Yeah, great division there. I was happy to see the sniper team move up. Obviously, it looks terrible, especially coming from us, right? Like putting the team in A, just really not knowing how they would do, and moving them up in the right division definitely helped. The single A division out for sure, and they proved to be able to compete in that higher division. So pretty proud of those guys.
Yeah, it's such a weird scenario. And I'm glad we're able to move them up too, because basically what happened there is, and it's happened to other teams, is they were an 05 team. and they play AAA, AA, and every year they play up in 04 and they play single A. And every year they do pretty bad in the AAA in 05 and they do okay in the A. I don't think they've ever won it. But this year they, played really well. We're on such a high. When the 05 ended, they just won the gold medal. And then now, oh my God, you're in single A? That looks pretty bad. But the schedule's already made, whatnot. And I wanted to change them right from the get-go and got a little, pushback from some of the parents and managers and stuff. So we left them in and they started doing like I thought they would and winning pretty big. And then we moved them up for the playoffs. So we straightened it out. But it's so tough situations like that because they're still kids and you just don't know how they're going to play. And there's something about winning and getting on a ride, if they had gotten beat up in 05 and not played well, they probably wouldn't have done well in 04, but they did so well. They went into it just feeling like rock stars. And here they are in the 04 division, just kicking butt. So yeah, we're glad they were able to move them up. And then, high score in that division, Tyler Dale, who I feel like he's won this division before high scorer, Greg, right? I mean, like every year he's the high scorer. He's got more Warrior high score awards and sticks at home. He should be supplying the sticks for the high scorers in the tournament by this point because he's probably got so many of them. 21 points, Greg, in 4 games. Pretty impressive from Tyler Dale. Yeah,
he's probably has a nice little stockpile of Warrior sticks at the farm. But no surprise, he's a great goal scorer. A couple guys in that division, Jan Maria, he played up in the pro with Rink Rat Ringster, and then Tyler Dale, 2004, played with the Futures team. So that's pretty impressive stuff there. And going into it, you kind of know that he's probably going to get high score. He's a natural goal scorer there, and 21 points is very impressive.
No, absolutely. You mentioned Jan Maria. He playing with the U.S. development team now. Pretty impressive stuff. He won the best defensive player in the division for the Excitement. The Rob Laurie Goalie Monkey MVG from Farm Tough Cows, Joe Christoffel. The CJ Yoder AAA MVP, the Excitement, Mike Modelsky. CJ Yoder AA MVP from the Snipers, Peter Bazis. And then our skills competition winner sponsored by Mars Blade and Top Shelf Targets. Mars Blade Top Sniper, Illinois Express, Joe Mayone. Top Shelf Targets, accuracy shooter, Detroit Dragons, Andrew Kramer. Mars Blade Fastest Skater, Carcio Blast, Sal Sirota. And Mars Blade Top Goalie, Illinois Express, Anthony De Silva. So it was good seeing some of these other top players and some of these other really good teams showing up for the awards as well.
Yeah, it's pretty spread out. Again, there's a lot of skill in those higher divisions, but as a team goes, those two teams, the Farm Tough team and the MBS team, they were the deepest. They, before the tournament, you could, those two teams are probably going to be going to the championship game.
Yeah, you mentioned that depth is so true. It's kind of like the pro division, right? Like everyone's got a really good first line. Everyone's got a decent, then you start getting to how good is your second or your third line, especially. And, in the 04 division, I think every team's got some pretty good players, but that Michigan team, especially, they're deep 1 to 8. And then in the goal, obviously. So it's not easy. Let's move on to the 2004. We had a separate single A division, which is great to have. So in that division here, let me look at the standings first before I talk about the awards. So we have Jersey Assault, Junior Mudcats, Colorado, Jaguars, Missouri, Gremlins, Missouri, STL Chaos, Missouri, Indiana Elite, Straight Pipe from Missouri, and Team Florida. And in that division, the New Jersey Assault were the leaders going into the playoffs there with a 3-1 record, and good strong team there. And looking at the playoffs here, championship game, New Jersey Assault took down the Jaguars 5-1. And in the bronze medal game, the Gremlins from Missouri took home the bronze, beating the Junior Mudcats, CJ Yoda's crew from Colorado, 5-3. So congrats to those teams.
Yeah, it's weird sometimes with matchups, right? The Assault seemed like they had a pretty tough game against the Gremlins in the semis, 4-3. And then they just kind of took it to the Jaguars 5-1 in the championship game. So just crazy how teams match up. You know what I mean? But yeah, I know overall it was a very solid division. I thought once the sniper team went up to the AA, it was really anyone's fight there.
Yeah, for sure. And, based on the award winners, the snipers were still in the division for the round robin. So Joe Cook, Warrior High Scorer, and it probably killed his dad to see Joe Cook's name on this award, not his. Brady Marzalak from the Snipers. Tour Best Defensive Player from the Gremlins, Dylan Willis. Rob Laurie, Goalie Monkey, MBG. The Jaguars, Aaron Tinker, longtime State Wars, Missouri, great goaltender.
Yep.
CJ Yoder, Single A MVP from the Assault, New Jersey, no surprise, Christian Pietramonaco. Mars Blade Skills top snipers, James Van Aaron, who's not known as a sniper on the Snipers, no pun intended there, but for him to win, that's pretty awesome with that group. Top Shelf Targets, most accurate shooter, Dom DeLuca from the Snipers. Mars Blade fastest skater, Junior Mudcats, Horatio Arnold, and Mars Blade top goaltender from the Snipers, Andrew Siegel. So some great stuff there in the Single A 04 division as well.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on.
Yeah, 2003 AAA AA. So sad to say, this is the last year of the 03s and their own birth year, which is crazy to think, Greg, that 03s was gone now from that. It's been such a strong division for so many years. 9-team division, Farm Tough Cows, Wisco, New Jersey Assault, Team PA, Connex Raleigh Speed, North Carolina, Car Shield Blast, Missouri, PTC from Georgia, TGP Sports, Missouri, Griff Hockey from Illinois, and La Beta Mayhem from California. And here the Farm Tough Cows were 4-0. Again, usually it's a lot of their 04s playing up with a mix of a couple other kids. So, they're going to be tough to beat there. And in the playoffs for the 2003, let's look at the AAA first here. We had championship game, no shock. Farm Tough Cows beat up big time, 9-1 on New Jersey Assault. And then the bronze medal, Connex Raleigh Speed, 4-3 over Team Pennsylvania. So yeah, that Cows team just a step above everybody else, Greg, in the AAA.
Yeah, and they added, was it Max Montez? I think he's an 03, right? So he wasn't on the 04 team, but
played pro with the Futures as well.
Yeah, so adding him to that 03 team probably helped big time.
Absolutely,
he could play.
And then the AA 03 championship, Car Shield Blast, 5-1 win over PTC Georgia. And then the bronze medal, another tight bronze medal game, Greg. TGP Sports 5-4 over La Beta Mayhem from California.
Yeah, some great games there. TGP, a lot of local guys, our friends from the pro shop there, were part of that team. Greg Royer's group and Eric Cantrell. But PTC beat them in the semis, 5-4, and then great game there. And TGP ended up taking that bronze medal game over La Beta Mayhem, and La Beta Mayhem actually had a great game against Car Shield Blast 4-3. So those semifinals were really tight.
Oh, absolutely. The Joe Cook Warrior High Scorer, Farm Tough Cows. Don't say I told you so. Tyler Dale, high scorer there. The Tour Best Defensive Player, Greg. We're missing some things on the site here.
The 03. We missing some sheets, so I'm just trying to grab some info from people.
All right. The tournament's 2 months ago, so let's try to get on that here. Tour Best Defensive Player not listed on here. Rob Laurie, Most Valuable Goalie, Farm Tough. Once again, Joe Christoffel, CJ Yoder, AAA MVP, Farm Tough Cows, Max Montez, and the CJ Yoder AA MVP, Car Shield Blast, Sal Serrato. Skills comps aren't listed on here, so I'm not sure if we even had a skills comp in the 03 division, but nothing's listed on here for those guys.
Yeah, it's tough because for some reason the 03 sheets weren't in our folder, and of course the 03s didn't show up to the awards ceremonies that morning. Remember that? Yeah. So it's hard to look at the pictures to see who won what. So just trying to do my best to add in what we could find out. So
and the 2003 Single A, Team Tennessee, Team PA Inferno, Columbia, Kansas City Wolfpack, Palma La Beta Golden Knights, California, and Team Texas Burnt Toast from Texas. 4-0 Team Tennessee looked pretty good in the round robin there. Those guys were the only undefeated team in the round robin. And in the championship, though, Team PA Inferno took it to them 4-2. Surprising Team Tennessee not taking home the gold medal there after that being perfect up to that point. And then once again, another 1-goal game in the bronze medal, Greg. Kansas City Wolfpack, bronze medal winners, taking home some some medals back to Kansas with Coach John Ingram defeating Columbia 3-2. Where else other than State Wars would a team from Kansas play a team from Columbia in the bronze medal game?
Yeah, you don't see it often, right? Those Colombians, though, I've said in earlier podcasts, those kids can play, man. They work so hard, take it very serious. They're very dialed into the games, and they work their butts off. And they got some really good talent there too. So,
Warrior High scorer Greg was from Columbia, Jacob Pichakon.
Excuse me, Tim. Sorry, what'd you say?
Jacob Pichakon from Columbia took home the Joe Cook Warrior High scorer.
Yeah, he can play too. He's always on the awards list. And,
Rob Laurie, most valuable goaltender, Team PA Inferno, Jordan Brown, and the CJ Yoder MVP of the championship game, Max Sokol from Team Pennsylvania Inferno. So congrats to those guys there. 2003 divisions. And hopefully, Greg, 04 is our goal this year. Every year since the beginning, we had given out scholarship winners to the single berth year, the last year of their division. $12,000 in college scholarships, 10 goalies, 10 skaters, 2 goalies, each winning a $1,000 college scholarship if they go to college. It's not just given to them to just go buy a new pair of shoes and take their friends on a trip. So it's got to go to a school. But the last 2 years, unfortunately, during this pandemic, with business being down a little bit and things with us, we weren't able to offer that college scholarship for the last 2 years, which stinks for the 03s and the 02s. But hopefully the goal is to get that Pride and Honor College Scholarship Fund back and running this year for the 04s and be able to announce some scholarship winners, which always helps get that division more exciting for that last birth year, for those kids playing the last time in their birth year before they move up to Juggernaut or junior or whatever they're going to play in.
Yeah, I think if we would have had it for the 03s this year, I think they would have showed up to the award ceremony.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the girls division now. So, we had taken a hiatus from the girls for a couple of years, Greg. It gets hard with the girls divisions. But, we're working really hard in female hockey to get more and more girls wanting to play in the tournaments. We have a women's division. We want to have a girls. The goal originally was to have a girls major and a girls minor. And as you know, we had a lot of people early on, whether it's on our podcast or just talking to them, came on and we're so excited. We're going to coach. We're going to get girls playing and we're going to do this and that and this and that. And we were really pumped for that. And we thought we'd have a separate major and minor and really build this girls division. But as you know, talk is cheap. And unfortunately, a lot of people didn't follow through or come through on promises. And honestly, Greg, this division fell on you in a lot of ways. You were the one pulling your hair out to handle the girls division. So we were only able to have one division for the girls. And thankfully, Emily Doran, she followed up on what she was doing. She got a Palmer Beta Golden Knights team to come out. And thank you to the Nijar family, I'm sure, who helped support them, and Emily for getting that together. And then our good buddy Peter Dale, he followed through and got a team from Wisconsin from the farm. Some of those girls coming out. He's got a lot of great girl players in his program. But then the other two, the SW Buttes and Team Missouri, were really individual girls like Greg. You were big borrowing and stealing and knocking on a lot of doors and sending a lot of emails to put those teams together. And kudos to you for a good job to get those teams together so these girls could have a place to play.
Yeah, it was really tough, Tim, as you know. Right out of the gate, we had, I'd say, at least 50 emails from parents and girls looking to play, all excited. We're pumped up, have 2 divisions, a major and a minor. But then we barely got this off the ground, just the one division. And Crystal Green from Missouri, shot me a message. Say, listen, I don't really know too many girls, but I'd love to coach and let me know if you need me. So we had multiple girls from Missouri contact us. So I'm like, you know what, let's just make a Missouri team. And then they were able to get a couple other girls to join the team, and it worked out great. Crystal took that team, and it was great. And then our friend Milo Davis from Florida, he always loves coaching the girls, and he's always involved in the youth. So he was like, listen, I want to coach, get me a team. So with the individuals that were on the list, he took those girls and got the team together. So yeah, it was, we had a girl from Mexico come in to play goalie. She played phenomenal for that team. And it was just kind of just a mix of girls from all over the country. So just great to see the girls division start off again. And I think in the future, it's really going to grow just because I know the international teams, they're always looking to play girls. And I think some more girls that saw this division pop off, I think it got them excited to play for next year. So hopefully we're not pulling our hair out too much next year for this girls division, and it definitely works out a lot smoother. But yeah, when it was all said and done, girls got to the tournament and played some good hockey. So it was fun to watch.
Yeah, and I really hope, we hear a lot of, from the girls, the women's that are playing women's hockey that are so involved in their division and stuff and wanting, more for the sport. And we want it too for the women and get more involved. But I like to see these women get more involved in the youth programs with the girls and get involved and help grow the young girls, because that's the future of it. It's not really necessarily about the ones playing, at the end of the rope now at the adult division, but let's get more young girls playing. So this girls division and women's division is huge, 10 years from now. That's really the goal of all this. So hopefully we could see more of the players from the women's division. And honestly, I've said the same thing for years about even the pro division on the men's side. Like, I love to see more of the guys that are playing in the pro division coach, teams, boys teams, get more kids playing. You see some of it, we've seen at times John Seamer at times has coached a little bit, or Etan Chavera for a minute coached a little bit with some of the kids I know. But, Kyle Kramer did some stuff on the ice side. I'd see him on the roller side, get some kids in Missouri coaching a little bit more. But you don't see that many of the pro guys really involved with the kids either, and that I love to see, because they have so much to give to these kids and the kids look up to them. CJ Yoder obviously is doing it in Colorado, but there's not too many guys that are playing in the pro division that are coaching roller hockey teams and boys, and there's not too many girls in the women's division coaching young girls teams and roller hockey either. So I'd like to see more of the better players get involved on the coaching side.
Yeah, look at Taylor Kane and Skylar Hoare. They do a phenomenal job with their programs out west. Jerry Osterkamp as well. So I mean, it's there, guys. Everyone complains about the sport. There's no, especially the women. We hear about it all the time on Instagram and stuff like that. And guys, yeah, you can make an Instagram page and talk about it, but let's get involved. Why don't you start coaching some girls teams in your local area? Growing the sport like that. Yeah, social media is great and all. I think it's awesome that they're trying to reach out and get the word out, but girls need to really start getting involved, I think, and they'll play a huge role in that. So hopefully next year there'll be some more women involved in coaching some girls and getting them going.
Another player, Kevin Dwyer, Colorado pro player, Connex. He's coaching kids out in Colorado.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So
guys
need to step in both on the pro guys and the women's side. I think they really need to start pitching in a little bit and help growing the sport in their local areas. So I think that'd be huge.
Absolutely. Garrett Haar has helped out a lot in Illinois with some of the teams and stuff. So he's another pro player. So yeah, we got to get more of them though, especially in different areas. I know Tyler Kraft has done a little bit in Florida, helping out a little with some stuff. Love to see him get a little more involved down there, and everywhere. Let's get more of these great players involved. The kids would love it, and would definitely make the game even better for them. So let's look here at the girls division playoffs championship. It was a great game. Palm and Beta Golden Knights 3-2 win over Farm Tough, and there was no bronze medal game there, just the championship, I believe. So. 3-2 win there, Palm and Beta over Farm Tough. So great to see that. Congrats to those guys.
They had 2 close games, 2 3-2 games, round robin, and then the championship game. Both back and forth games, awesome games to watch. And I think I score kept the championship game. So that was pretty cool. Joe
Cook, Warrior High scorer, Farm Tough. Skylar Marshall, great player. Rob Laurie, goalie monkey, most valuable goalie from Palma. Jolie Savoy, another great goaltender.
Yeah, phenomenal.
And CJ Yoder, MVP. Palm and Beta, Kaylee Lemkel, another great player, young player.
Yeah, you've seen her over the years.
Some of these girls playing pro. They'll be playing in the women's top pro division over the next few years, I would think.
Yeah, for sure. No, a lot of girls you've seen play with the boys over the years, and they do well with them. And to see them play in their own girls division, they really shine, and and just really stepping up in the girls. It's cool to see.
While we're sticking here on the girls, we'll stick with the women. The women's division, we had a 7-team division: Liberty, Tor Roadrunners, Palma Beta Golden Knights, Team Careless, Tor Aztecs, Missouri Gremlins, and Columbia. And like you said, we already have interest from France and some other places about bringing a women's team next year, maybe Namibia. They always have a lot of good girls playing. So I definitely see some international strengths coming in next year from different countries in the women's division. Liberty and Tor Roadrunners are both 4-0. Palma was 3-1. So they were the top three leading into the playoffs. When we split for the playoffs, wound up going into a AAA and a AA division. In the AAA semifinals, Liberty had beaten Team Careless 4-0 in the one semifinal, and Palma with a really great win, 3-2 win over the Roadrunners in the other semi. I always feel like those two always have battles, Greg. And it came down to them in the semi. And then, wow, what a championship game. I watched majority of this game. I caught it late in the first and watched the rest of it. And it was just a heck of a hockey game, back and forth. I thought this game was going to go like 5 overtimes. Watch, all I was thinking about was, oh my God, how far behind are we going to fall here with all these overtimes? Liberty and Palma.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah. 2-1 win Liberty. Megan Myers with a great goal to win that game and win 2-1. Team USA coach Dave Marmenstein on the bench with the Liberty. I know he was pumped to win his first State Wars championship there. Great job there. Joe Cook, Warrior High scorer, Liberty. Laura Verhanta, no surprise there. Team USA player. Rob Laurie, goalie, most valuable player. Most valuable goaltender, Tor Roadrunners. Amanda Danella. CJ Yoder, George, AAA most valuable player. George Watch won there. Liberty. Megan Myers for that game winner, of course, deserved. And CJ Yoder, George Watch's AA MVP from Columbia, Lorena Pedraza. So congrats to her. And I got to just mention here the AA winners, I guess.
Yeah, so
back to that.
In that game, Columbia ended up beating the Tor Aztecs 2-0 in the championship game. Awesome game to watch. Columbia had a lot of chances, and their Tor Aztecs goalie played phenomenal that game. Columbia ended up beating the Gremlins 2-1 in the semifinal. So, I mean, that was a pretty competitive, 3-team AA for the playoffs. Very close games. Gremlins played awesome. They had a great team for that too. But unfortunately, only one team can go to that championship against the Tor Aztecs, and Columbia came back as a lower seed and beat the Tor Aztecs. So congrats to them.
Absolutely. Nothing like going and traveling way home with a nice medal around your neck.
Oh, yeah.
So let's keep rolling here. After the women's division, the Juggernaut. So Juggernaut has really turned into such a great division at State Wars. We had 16 teams playing in this division, Greg. It was a huge
division. Turned into
division.
a juggernaut, Tim.
What's that?
Turned into a juggernaut.
Yeah, it has turned into a juggernaut for sure. It was a great name. We came up with that name years ago. Who would have known? But 16 teams, and it's so hard with this division, Greg. Like, I look at the scores now, and you're like, oh, we could have split it up, whatever. But it's so hard with Junior and Juggernaut when you don't know the teams, you don't know the rosters. People don't get you the rosters on time, so you don't even know what to do. So basically, we make one big division and we split it with everyone being able to make the playoffs. So undefeated teams going into the playoffs here. The only teams that were 3-0, a couple teams had ties, but 3-0, Farm Tough Cows, Lizard Kings, Georgia, and the Assault Empire from New Jersey. Other teams in the division, Skittles, California, Car Shield Blast, Missouri, Colorado Fire, Detroit Dogs, Michigan, Illuminati, Illinois, Rockwood Summit, Missouri, Griff Hockey, FCG, Illinois, Texas Crunch, Illinois Express, Music City Mayhem, Tennessee, STL Venom, All American Pirates, Missouri, and the Fox Warriors from Pennsylvania, Missouri as well. So right there, getting into the playoffs, AAA bracket, top, I believe, I think it was the top, what was it? 6 teams, I think, went to the upper bracket, if I remember.
Yep.
Semifinals came down to Skittles beating the Blast 2-1, and the Farm Tough Cows beating the Lizard Kings 5-3. And then the championship game, not a big shock for me. The Skittles winning it 4-2, beating the Cows in a great championship game.
Yeah, that Skittles team was really deep. Talk about, we talked about depth in teams, but, one through, I think they had probably 10 guys on that team. They were all very good and awesome goaltending there. Um, I think they were just a little too much for that division, against Farm Tough in the championship. They were very strong. But, the Carshield Blast, they gave them a great game in the semifinals. That was a 2-1 game. So, overall, I think the top team did win the division, but Carshield Blast definitely gave him a battle in the semi. And, 4-2 is not a bad game either, Tim, in the championship against Farm Tough. So, but I think overall the deepest team did win.
No, not at all. Then you look at the 10 more teams go to the double A. And after a couple playoff playing games, the quarterfinals, again, great games. Rockwood Summit 6-4 over Illinois Express. Griff Hockey 6-3 over Texas Crunch. Illuminati 2-0 over Music City Mayhem. And St. Louis Venom 5-3 over the Detroit Dogs. So all 1-2 goal games there. And then we get into the big semifinals. Illuminati 2-0 over the STL Venom. And Rockwood Summit, Missouri 6-2 over Griff Hockey. And in the championship, Rockwood Summit 4-1 over Illuminati, gold medal winners.
Our boy Donnie Hager's team 4-1. Illuminati.
Donnie Hager. I think Donnie Hager was at the rink more than you were, Greg.
Yeah, and he's always so happy. Even when he's tired, he was playing, he was coaching, he was all over the place, coaching a million teams, the Blast and the Rockwood Summit teams. But this team was kind of like a late add-on to the division too. They weren't too sure if they were going to have the team or not, and they did pretty well. So congrats to Rockwood.
Yeah, no, Don Hager, definitely one of my favorites in the game. I think Rob Ferrara, our state director, he'd be lost without Don Hager and Tammy O'Rourke. That's like his right and left hands,
Oh, yeah.
And
Donnie, let me check with Donnie. Let me check with Tammy.
Yeah, and he does such a great job with that. So, congrats to him for winning. Joe Cook, Warrior High Score, Lizard Kings, again, another stud, just gone through the State Wars programs as a little kid. Miles Harrington, Skittles, Most Valuable Goalie, Rob Laurie Award, Aaron Parsons, and then the CJ Yoder AAA MVP. Another stud. We're used to seeing him out in Northern California. Then he goes to Lindenwood. He's playing with the Skittles here, Nathan Duran. So congrats to Nathan.
Yeah. Great player. Missed his father this year. Another great guy.
His dad is a character. I never forget one year before I knew him that well. I think we were in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And he came up to the office and he said to me, like, he was all fired up. He's from over the pond, as he would say, right? So he comes in and he's all fired up and he's got the accent and he says he's got to protest. And, we have a $100 fee to protest, so I'm like, all right, and he hands me an envelope with the protest. I wrote it out I don't want to get into it right now. I wrote it down for you. I'm like, okay, all official.
Yep.
So he just storms out of the office and I'm thinking like, what the heck is this guy protesting? And I open up the envelope and it was like, great job by you and your staff. Take the boys out for some beers. And he gives the $100 for the staff or whatever. So
yeah. So nice.
Love Gary just from that moment on. Great guy and great family. And congrats to Nathan for winning the MVP. Well deserved.
Yeah, he was always a huge State Wars supporter. Over the years when Nathan was growing up playing in the youth divisions and stuff like that, he'd always get kids involved and teams involved, stuff like that. So it's crazy to see Nathan just kind of blossom into the player that he is now. Obviously he was always such a great player, but he's really stepped it up since going to Lindenwood, I think. So
absolutely. As go to schools like Lindenwood, you're on your skates so much. It just takes your game to the next level. You get good coaching, and being on the rink so much. It's just a huge thing. So congrats to Nathan and his whole team. Let's move on here, Greg, to the junior division. So junior is also another great division every year. You're always at that age where guys are becoming pros and whatnot, and they're still young to play in the junior division, 10-team division. It's funny. This is a division where we had some controversy with our buddy Phil Maroon out in Missouri. Was upset with us during this tournament with this division because, it was a 10-team division and we had whatever it was, how many teams making the playoffs. And after the fact, guys wanted to change it. How many should go up? How many should go down? It's not fair. And, there's this many teams and that many teams and blah, 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 blah. I think we took 5 up and 5 down. And after the fact, they wanted it to be 6 up and 4 down.
Yeah.
It's so hard again with these divisions that, we get rosters like the day before the tournament starts in this age group, so I'm just basically guessing on seeding and hoping you get it right and whatnot. At the end of the day, you just got to win your games, right, Greg? It's all it really comes down to.
Yeah.
So the AAA division wound up being the top 5 teams and some great games. The playing game, the Rink Rat Whalers from Missouri, who we were told would get killed in the AAA division, by the way, by some people. They won the first round 5-2 over the Empire Assault.
I was actually going to bring them up, Tim. I was so impressed by that team.
Good team.
I was watching them in round robin. I'm like, they're all big. They can all play. They all had missiles. But they were that was one of the teams that impressed me the most in that division. Those kids can play.
Yeah, absolutely. And they wound up going to the semifinal then after winning that game. And they wound up losing 3-1, very respected to the Toro Roadrunners, who was a stud pro team, basically.
Yeah.
And then the other semifinal, the Rink Rat Groove, was basically another pro team. It's a lot of the Rink Rat or Skittles guys defeated the Car Shield Blast 3-1, another great team. So those are basically like a mini pro division here, the junior AAA. And in the championship game, I got to be honest, maybe the old-time most boringest game I've ever watched in State Wars history. I don't know how many overtimes it went. It went about 4 overtimes, I think. And both teams just stood around. And this is a game, Greg, now we've already talked about. We're going to change our playoff overtime formats moving forward. I don't know if we'll be changing it in the championship game. We talked about changing other rounds with some different things to speed up the process. But 2-1, Toro Roadrunners finally wound up winning. A little bit of a sleeper in that game. And it was a game where I don't think the coaches even made substitutions. 4 guys basically stood on the ring for both teams almost the entire game. So congrats to the Roadrunners with a 2-1 win there.
Talk about a chess match. But going back to that semifinal.
I'd rather watch a chess match, I think.
Going back to that semifinal between the Whalers and the Roadrunners, I was watching that game and the Whalers went up 1-0, right? So they were up 1-0 going into the second period. The shots, I think the Roadrunners smoked them in shot. It was like 24-8 in shots throughout the whole game. But it was a 2-1 game, really, with an open netter. So it was a really close game, and the Whalers were holding in there, going up 1-0 going to the second period. So they played strong against the Roadrunners, and eventually, the Roadrunners would be crowned champions. So, I mean, they played well. Absolutely.
Great game there. And then with the awards going there, Joe Cook wore a high score from the Rink Rat Whalers, Missouri. Samir Abulhana, great player, played many years, Team Missouri. Rob Laurie, most valuable goaltender, goalie monkey. Rink Rat Groove, Lane Hartwell, boy from Alberta. He played Juggernaut with the Tennessee guys. He helped them out. He played pro, great goaltender there. And the CJ Yoda George, AAA most valuable player from the Roadrunners, Joey DiMartino, our buddy here from Long Island, who's overseas right now playing. And our CJ Yoda George, AA MVP, Junior Mud Snakes, Parker Winkleman. And in the AA bracket, when the team split down, that Mud Snake team wound up, they were obviously a strong team, did well, wound up going down to the lower division. I know they weren't happy about having to play in the lower division, but even there, I mean, they won the championship only 3-1 over the Lizard Kings, who gave them a really tough battle in the championship game there. So congrats to both of those teams.
Yeah. Mud Snakes ended up scoring first in that game, and the Lizard Kings answered right back to tie it. So, I mean, it was a really close game. It was 1-1 going into the second period.
Absolutely. So let's keep moving along here. Our senior AA division, I don't know what to say about this division. It's always incredible. The team's right on the cusp of playing in the pro division, and especially with our rules for one player allowed to play in the pro division. Every team kind of gets that one player when they can, which really changes the division. But here you had, hold on one second. He's just trying to read a message here. Just a great 14-team division. Mud Snakes and Cincinnati Roller Ducks were the top 2 teams, 4-0. Sorry, my wife's texting me here as it's going on that there's groceries dropped off at the front door. Like, well, figure it out. I'm in the middle of, this is podcast day. So Unbelievable. When you work from home, guys, your wives, and I guess if you work from home as a woman, your husband, whoever it would be, whatever it is, they think you have all the time in the world to do everything for them, because you're not working because you're home. So that's going to be crazy for a lot of people. Everyone that thinks it's so cool to work from home now during this pandemic, you'll see people going back in groves to work after this, because they'll realize that it's not so easy to work from home.
Exactly. So, oh, can you turn on the crock pot? Can you throw the garbage out? Can you throw the laundry in? Can you run here? Can you run there?
Right, 100%. It just drives you nuts. My kids every morning, "Hey, Dad, I hate to bother you, but I forgot my math folder. Can you bring it to school? Hey, I forgot this. Oh, can you bring my lunch? Oh, I forgot this. I forgot a key. Can you drop it off?" All day long. So is what it is. But the Mud Snakes and Cincinnati Roller Ducks are both 4-0. They were the top 2 seeded teams in there. Besides them, Carshio Blast, Colorado had a team. Florida, Missouri Mars Blade, Tour Country Puck, Team Texas, the Texas Tidal Wave team, Connecticut Coasters, Apex, Maven from Cali, STL Chaos, Fatty Natty, Missouri, Men's League Sweaters, Michigan, and Chicago Inline Hockey in that division. Definitely a tough division overall there. And when you get into the playoffs, that one, great. Top 8 teams make it. Mud Snakes 4-1 win over Tidal Wave. 7-1 blast over Mars Blades in a Missouri battle. Tour Country Puck 6-3 over Cincinnati Roller Ducks, to the chagrin, I'm sure, of a lot of players like Nick Okada. They were coasting at that point to get knocked out in the quarters, just how tough that division is. And Florida with a really tough first round game. And we'll talk about Florida in a little while, why it was a shock, but they barely got out of the quarterfinals, 1-0 over Colorado, which, again, shows how tough this division is, that the quarterfinal would be that tough. And no shock, Tyler Kraft from Jacob Schnapp scoring the 1 goal to make it a 1-0 win there. And then moved on to the semifinals. Mud Snakes 6-1 over Tour Country Puck, and Florida this was another one, Greg. We watched this whole game. I never thought this game was going to end. Packed house. It was on rink 2, our tour rink, which without the seating there that big, it seemed like there was as many people there as any pro game watching these two St. Louis team and the Florida team. They wanted to see, who was going to beat up who was going to go crazy in that game. It was a wild back and forth game. And honestly, watching the game, the Blast, I thought it most of the time looked like the better team in that game. They controlled the play a lot. And then the Blast had gotten a late power play in that game. Tyler Kraft, of all people, I think it was called for a slash in overtime. And I think JP Bielson rung the crossbar watching that game in overtime on the power play. And they got through it. Might have been the second overtime, actually, that penalty. And then the overtime continued. And I know, as always, there was a little controversy. There was a little contact, guys yelling for a call or whatever. I thought it was a clean play, just two guys colliding. And Chase Pulowski on Florida broke in now on a little breakaway almost from the side, came in and sniped one and took home the win 2-1. Probably one of the best games of the tournament in the AA semifinal. And then the championship, big matchup, Florida against the Mud Snakes. And a lot of people, I think, thought the Mud Snakes would be the better team in this one as well coming into the tournament. Florida, Greg, shocking a lot of people. And they wound up winning that game. Chase Pulowski, again, in that one, had the game winner on the power play. Then he scored, I think, an empty netter. And they wound up winning 4-2 Florida.
Yeah, great game. Florida went up 2-0 in that game. So, for the Mud Snakes to come back and tie it, probably took a lot out of them. But talk about depth again, Mud Snakes were definitely a lot deeper. Florida had 5 or 6 players on the team, and they were probably exhausted, especially from that semifinal game that went to double overtime.
Right.
So they're probably shot. But Florida played great. Kyla Sanders, man, you see that goal she scored?
Yeah, playing with the AA team with her boyfriend Tyler Kraft. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, she had an incredible goal, a breakaway 5-hole. Awesome goal there. But it was Chase Pulowski, who longtime State Wars guy, scoring on the power play and burying the empty netter. So congrats to him.
And you bring up a good point. When you go to double overtime in the semi, and the game times are pretty close to begin with between semis and championships usually, and you go to double overtime, it's not like the NHL where you got a couple days to rest for your next playoff game. I mean, it's right coming up. And credit to those guys and girls for being able to get with it and be able to play another one, because it's not like we can't say, hey guys, we're pushing the games back 2 hours now. It's kind of like, hey, too bad. Like, you didn't win your game in regulation like the Mud Snakes did. You gotta play when it's playing, right? It's
Some teams like it though.
Yeah, if the game was ready to start right away, we'd probably give them 15-minute, maybe a little break to be fair to them. But other than that, like, you got to play, and that's just part of tournament hockey. It has its trials and tribulations, and that'd be one of them. But they rolled right with it. I don't know if they even took their skates off and got ready for the next one. Joe Cook, Warrior, high score in that division. Torque Country Puck, Nick Delamorte, another Lindenwood product from Long Island. Rob Laurie, goalie, Monkey, most valuable goalie, Carshield Blast, Kevin Johnson. And CJ Yoda, George AA MVP, Team Florida, no shock, Chase Pulowski with the game winner in both the semifinal and championship. Congrats to Chase and Florida.
Yeah, what a deep division. Always fun to watch that one.
Absolutely. And I guess the last division we'll cover today, Greg, and we'll do the next podcast. We'll cover the 35, 45, 55 separately, but let's talk about the senior A-B division. Holy cow, Greg. Everyone talks about the Palmer Pro being the toughest division in the sport to win. I would argue that and say that the 64 team senior A-B State Wars senior division is the toughest division in the sport to win. I'm not going to read through all these names because it would take an hour to do so. But
yeah,
I'm just going to say here, undefeated teams. We had the top 12 teams were all 3-0. So everyone played 3 games, Greg, and then you split into an A and a B. I think it was top 32 in the one and the bottom 32 in the next.
Yep.
Again, making this the toughest division in the sport to win.
Yeah, and you weren't there for our seedings that night, the night before,
no.
But
Whiteout City?
No, it was done perfectly. Brian Richford had a great little game plan going into it, had his sheets ready on the side and marked off every, it's so tough sometimes when you have guys behind you breathing down your neck, shouting out numbers, shouting out seeds. Meanwhile, they didn't look to see who played one another. They didn't look at all the matchups and stuff like that. So it was really tough. And then we had Rob Woods come in and help us when he came to pick us up from Veta. But yeah, that was a tough one to do. And I'll be honest, it was done perfectly.
Yeah, no, Brian, Dex, he did a little privately. He prepares it because, like you said, everyone's on top of you there and everyone's drinking and they're yelling and stuff. And you know how it goes too. If there's one score off, especially in that division, if there was a 3-2 score instead of a 4-2, it throws off everything. It's a domino effect. You have to change everything. So it's crazy with that division. And there's so many tiebreakers because it's 3 games and, it's just a really difficult thing. So, Brian is like our rain man when it comes to numbers with that. He's on top of the board and you're there as a support system, I guess.
Yeah, it takes a couple guys to do that, just to double check everything with matchups. If teams played against one another, usually it's just the B that's the toughest, right? Or the end of the A, because teams aren't undefeated. There's losses there and stuff like that. So you got to make sure you got all the teams with 4 points in, and you got to go to the 3 and 2. So it gets tough.
Well, you think about it, if you didn't get a bye in the first round to win the senior A or B division, you're playing 5 playoff games. So you've played 8 games total in the tournament. Talk about playing a lot of hockey. We think about 64 teams, Greg. If we made a list of every roller hockey tournament held in 2021, I'm willing to bet that more than half of them didn't have 64 teams in the tournament for the year, for that tournament. So it just shows you how big this division is, to put into perspective. I mean, the National Cup in Tennessee will be sold out at about 50 teams, so it just shows you the size of that division, 64 teams in one division. So incredible to win that. I can't read through all of it. I'll just go right to the quarterfinals. When we got to the quarterfinals, TGP Sports, Missouri, 4-1 win over La Beta Roadrunners, Michigan. Torque Country Puck, 3-2 loss to Impact Snipers, New York, making their State Wars debut, the Russo boys and everyone. Easton Infections, Missouri, 6-5 over the Gremlins, Missouri battle. And then Country Financial, 8-2 over Florida, their single A team in the quarterfinals there. Go right to the semifinal. Country Financial, another Missouri battle, 3-2 win over Easton Infections. East Infections, excuse me. And then the other semifinal, TGP Sports, 4-2 over the Impact Snipers, New York. And then we had an all Missouri battle. Country Financial, 4-2 win over TGP Sports. And let's see what did Country Financial, were they undefeated, Greg, in the round robin as well? So let's see. Country Financial, pull that back up here. Got like an octopus to run this website on podcast day. Let's see. So they went, they were 3-0. So they went undefeated throughout the tournament. And they played TGP Sports in the round robin, who was the 16th seed. They were 2-1 in the round robin. They made it to the final. So they had a loss earlier on. So congrats to Country Financial just for a great tournament, obviously. And let's look at the senior B division then. So the bottom 32 split off to that one. So you got New Life. You might have went 0-3 in the round robin. You got New Life here now. Quarterfinals, Ruth Christophers, Illinois, 6-2 over Tor Fire, Colorado. SWH, Missouri, 5-4 win over Blade Unit, Missouri. SWH Snipers, I should say, with this awesome Empire Sportwear, did a really cool design for them. Looking like State Farm workers, I guess. Brendan So works for State Farm. They had the khakis as their pants. 8-0 win over the Pirates. And then Chicago Drive, 5-0 win over Oklahoma Scorelords. Pretty cool having a team from Oklahoma there. Go to the semifinals, Chicago Drive, 11-3 over Ruth Christophers. And Star with Snipers, 6-1 over Sasquatch. And the championship, Chicago Drive, driving home with gold medals, 4-1 over SOA Snipers in the B final. Congrats to those guys.
Yeah, so it was basically an Illinois matchup in the semis, in one semi, and then a Missouri matchup in the other semi. And then championship game was one Illinois and one Missouri, and Illinois ended up taking it home. And our boy Bonnie took home the MVP honors for that division.
And what's so cool about this division is so the SOA Snipers, they went 0-2-1 in the round robin. And they wound up playing another 5 games and going to the championship in the B, because again, it's such a disparity in talent. How the hell people say, oh, why don't you make an A and a separate B? How do you even know who these guys are?
They don't know. They don't know.
Yeah, they don't even know who that was on their team half the time.
Yeah.
So, so great division, senior A, B, 64 goddamn teams there. I don't know if we could ever beat that number. It would be incredible. Michigan, I could see us having a 50-team division in that one. There were so many Missouri teams, but those guys had so much fun. A lot of them will be coming over, and we'll have some international teams playing single A as well. We usually have a UK team in that division, Greg, maybe a team from France. I know France might want to bring a pro team. I know the Czechs might want to bring a pro team next year. So watch out for the Palm Pro division. Palm Pro is getting international, I have a feeling, next year.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. For years we've been waiting for the Czechs to come over. Yeah, we've had some players, but it'd be nice to have a full team. And the French team, with World Games being before State Wars, before the Palma Pro, there might be some teams wanting to stay for a couple of weeks in the States and play at State Wars. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, and big announcement for State Wars today. We're going to announce, first time officially. We already announced the Stillmat floor is the official floor of State Wars, but moving forward here now, the Stillmat puck will now be the official puck of State Wars. We covered the senior divisions today, and those senior divisions, we unveiled the puck, first time. All the adult divisions last year used a Stillmat puck. It's an incredible puck. We feel it's the best puck on the market. It obviously goes hand in hand with the Stillmat floor. It's made for that floor. It's built for that floor, especially. It's so fast. It's so strong. It stays down. It doesn't roll and bounce nearly as much as maybe some other pucks. And it's just such a better puck to play the game with. And that will now officially be moving forward, the puck of all the divisions, including all of our youth divisions and all of our tournaments. It's funny, Greg, I had a men's league game last night, and I had a couple in the bag with our game pucks. And a couple of the guys, Paul Valvo and Brian Yohe, grabbed the puck. They never used it before, and they both came out, what puck is that? And I told them it had the State Wars logo on it, and they both loved it. Like, can we use this puck tonight? Like, they love the puck, even at skate safe on a regular sport court. It's just a great feel to the puck. And I know you had used it before internationally, but then getting to use it at State Wars last year for the first time in the pro.
Yeah, the puck, and it's gotten better. The floor and the puck has gotten better over the years too. So yeah, I mean, it's great combo. Puck flies on that floor, and I think I think the youth division is going to really love that puck. Especially with like a lot of the kids playing ice hockey.
Yeah.
It's more of an ice feel to it. So I think it'll be fun to watch the kids use it too.
Yeah, what I like about it is, the little bit of extra weight, and it's not as heavy as an ice puck, but it's got a little bit extra weight to it. So I feel like you feel it on your stick more, like you do in ice, where sometimes with a roller hockey puck, they're a little too light to me, where it's hard to feel it. And as you get old, like me, and not as good as a hockey player as maybe I once was, I find myself looking down at the puck a lot more because you're losing it. And then you go to make a quick move and it rolls up because it's so light. Where this puck, you felt it more. You keep your head up more. It didn't roll as much. When you go to make sauce passes, it wouldn't skip and bounce. It would kind of sit like it should. And watching the pro and some of those men's divisions, how fast the puck moved on those games, it just add another level of excitement to the game. The game was just faster. It made the game faster, which we're excited about. And, we will be supplying that puck, distributing it here in the United States. So we'll be sending out an email blast about this, about how to get that puck, but we will have it available through our site where teams will be able to order that puck to practice with it, to use it, to have it for next year at State Wars. We know a lot of guys have already asked about it, Greg. I know you've gotten a lot of emails asking, how can we get this puck? So we're going to have it available so guys can order it directly through us, and we can ship it out to them. We got a shipment of pucks coming in soon, and we'll be sending out an email blast about that. But anyone that's watching this podcast interested, just email Greg and I, and we can give you some information about getting the Still Map pucks to you.
A little pre-order.
Yep. We'll do a big pre-order because we're going to have, at the National Cup, especially, 2 brand new Still Map floors will be down on those rinks. We'll be using the Nashville at the Nashville tournament, the Still Map puck there. And we'll have a big shipment of pucks coming in there. So hopefully from that point on, December, we'll be able to get some shipments out to people. I know we've got a lot of people interested. So excited to be partnering even more with Stillmat, to me, the leader in the industry in so many categories. And definitely the floors and the pucks are going to be a great fit for State Wars.
Definitely exciting. Yeah. So if you do have any interest in buying some or pre-ordering, let us know. We'll get you on our list and get you some pucks out when they come in.
All right. Awesome. Well, great job today, GT. Always a pleasure.
Always.
Love being here on the podcast. Love Podcast Thursday. We'll see you guys next week when we'll wrap up State Wars 17, 35 and over, AAA, 35 and over, AA, 45 and over, 55 and over. Our first ever 55 and over, Greg, which was pretty awesome. We'll be covering that.
And maybe we'll have a guest on as well.
Yeah, maybe. You got somebody in mind?
I do.
All right. So maybe we'll have a guest on next week. All right. Until then, we'll see you. State Wars Hockey Podcast, Glass Half Full Productions. Until next time. I got in trouble the first time my dad saw me dance.